turn to page 5 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, ay, ay. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Karchuni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Karchuni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Say Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Say Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Friday evening service. We love seeing so many of you in the Zoom room with us. So if you are joining us by live stream or on Facebook Live, we would love for you to actually join us inside the Zoom room. This is why we do this, so we can actually see your faces even when you're at home. You can find the Zoom link in our weekly email that came out. We're just so happy to be able to spend this Friday evening with you. We are on page 14 of the Siddur Lev Shalem, Yismechu Hashamayim. We're gonna.
Because I have a weird microphone situation happening here. So bear with me while I get this taken care of. Okay, we're good.
Hazan Mimi, I think your microphone might not be on. You're not on mute, but we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you now.
On mute, you might.
Now we hear you. We hear you. You're good.
Hear me now. I'm having a little problem, and I'm hoping it will solve itself. It's very strange. I think the golems are here tonight, but be that as it may, join with me, sing with me. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz.
we
gonna
continue on
continue.
page 19, Romamu.
It's actually page 20, just where we're going to start is page 20. So just so everyone knows, we're at the little box there. I realized it wasn't correct on the service order, so my apologies to the rabbi. Let's just sing this one. It's one we do sometimes, and I hope you'll enjoy it with me. Romemu, Romemu, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, V'hishtachavu leHadom raglav kadoshu. Romemu, Romemu, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachavu leHakosho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
We're going to continue with Lecha Dodi, page 23. We'll do the first verse and the last verse. And when we get to the last verse on page 25, we'll invite you to rise and face the entrance of whatever room you happen to be sitting in.
Lecha Dodi b'ikrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi b'ikrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad hishmiyanu. El hameyuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem tiferet, ve'elitila lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi, b'ikrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, b'ikrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Rise, Bo'i v'shalom, ateret bala gam b'simcha, u'b'tzola toch emunei, am segula Bo'i chala, Bo'i chala. Lecha Dodi, b'ikrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, b'ikrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. I think we're going to remain standing for Baruch Hu, which is on page 39A. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, Hama'ariv v'aravim. So we're going to continue with Kihem Chayenu in a melody. I hope you I hope that you enjoy and that you know, because we use it on Saturday morning. And I hope my sound sounds a little better. So you can, those of you in the Zoom room can give me an up or down. Ya la la la, ya la la la, la 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 la, la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, la la la, la la la. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nehegeh yomam ha'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la,
We are going to continue now with the Shema, page 41.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך, והיד. We continue towards the bottom of the page, on page 42. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 44, Mi Chamocha. We turn to Hashkivenu, page 45.
Nu
We'll turn now to Vishamru on page 46.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם לברית עולם. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם לברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם.
I want to talk for a few minutes about the concept of Yirat Elohim. That phrase means fear of God or being in awe of God. So I want to know, for those of you who are on Zoom with us this evening, if you would like to unmute and participate, you can just raise your hand. My question is, do you experience that? Do you experience Yirat Elohim? Can you think of a time in your life when you felt afraid of God's awesomeness? You were so overwhelmed by God's power that it actually kind of made you afraid. For anyone on Zoom, has anyone had this experience? And just raise your hand. Zisel, go ahead.
Let me tell you the experience I had with God. I was a sailor for 4 years. This happened in an evening in late October, early November. We were traversing the Caribbean Sea, and I was on the stern of the ship, just laying there on the deck, my hands under my head, just looking at the wake of the ship, the big moon that it illuminated the wake of the ship, looked like a river of light coming right at me. And I was listening to the engines. All of a sudden, everything went silent. I didn't hear a thing. It was as if it was in a bubble of silence. And that moment, when nothing mattered but the light, the moon, and the river coming at me, I felt God's presence right next to me. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything, no voices, nothing. But I felt inside of me God. And wow. I will never, ever forget that experience on that night.
Beautiful. So you, Zisel, had this experience of feeling God's presence, and maybe it scared you a little bit. Feeling God's presence, it's overwhelming. No, it felt like a lot.
I was not afraid. I was like in awe, but not afraid.
Which is good, because that word yirah, from Yirat Elohim, sometimes we translate it as fear, and sometimes we translate it as awe. And so it can be both. And Yirat Elohim plays a very significant role in this week's Parsha. We're at the very beginning of the book of Exodus. And Pharaoh, we're in Egypt, and Pharaoh is mistreating the Hebrew people, and Pharaoh orders the midwives, all midwives, to throw all Hebrew baby boys into the Nile River. And this is how he's going to essentially end the population of the Hebrews. But there are two very brave midwives named Shifra and Puah, and they defy Pharaoh's decree. Right? They feared God. This is the phrase. Vatirena hamyaldot et Elohim. They feared God. They had yirat Elohim, that fear of God. And if you remove one letter, actually, from the word vatirena, it's the same word as yirat, from yirat Elohim. If you remove one letter, if you remove the yud, it actually reads, they saw. Instead of they were afraid or they were in awe of, it reads, they saw. And I think there's a reason that those words are so closely related etymologically, because you might think, it might seem like one leads to another. Like you see something miraculous happen, and then all of a sudden you believe in God. All of a sudden you have this yirah, this fear and this awe, as Zisel spoke about, of God. But to me, that's a mistaken understanding, because like we don't need to see to be able to have that yirah. Just like if you quickly glance at that word and you glance at it, you don't see the yud in the word, in the Hebrew word. It's a small little letter. And you might think it said they saw. That's a mistake. Just like I think the idea that in order to feel yirat Elohim, you have to see something. You have to feel that actual proof. Yirat Elohim as a concept requires no seeing. If we could see proof of God's existence, we wouldn't really need yirat Elohim. But because we can't see those things, that's why we rely on our sense of yirat Elohim, to keep us acting ethically. And Shifra and Puah's yirat Elohim was no small moment in Jewish history. I mean, can you imagine if they had gone along with Pharaoh's evil decree to kill all Hebrew baby boys at birth? The Torah could have ended there, along with the Jewish people. Shifra and Puah as characters are mentioned only once in the Torah, in these few short verses that we read this week. But they played a huge role in the continued existence of the Jewish people because of their incredible yirat Elohim, because they feared God. They were in awe of God. And that yirat Elohim is what gave them the moral compass and the courage to go against Pharaoh's decree, to disobey him, and to end up saving lives. So let us all be blessed with some of that fear of God, that yirat Elohim that Shifra and Puah had, so that we have the wisdom to know what is right and the courage to act on it. We're in the middle of page 46. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayeyecho beit Yisrael b'gala u'vizman kariv ve'imru amen yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam lo me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei kurusha berichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ve'alma ve'imru amen.
We're going to take some time now for the Amidah. We'll invite you to rise if you'd like. The Amidah is from page 47 to 52. And as always, you can use the Hebrew in the Siddur, you can use the English, you can just pray from the heart. And we're going to start out loud together with the first 6 words.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai. Svatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Booyah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Shalom in Roma.
to take some time now and say a prayer for those who are in need of healing. We know there are people in this Zoom room with us and watching on live stream, people we all know and love who are in need of some healing, whether it's physical or spiritual or emotional. And we're with you for that healing. So we're going to join together now in Rifa'enu.
Rifa'enu Adonai B'nei Raphael. God, only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei Chulei Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Shekhinah, restores our loved one. Heal our people speedily in our day. And let us say, Amen.
We rise for Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו גובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשב אותה אל לבבך. Elohim בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, על כן נקבע לך לרומם. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
This week, we are lovingly remembering the following yahrzeits: Gertrude Appleby, Morris Appleby, Susan Armour, Vivian Sachs Atkins, Marilyn Fisher August, Yida Barjam, Chaim Bender, Ruth Bright, Mary Butler, Tony Kalig, Simon Chester, Donald Buzz Cohen, Jack Diamond, Samuel Feinstein, Germano Gelman, Spencer Gilbert, Howard Paul Goldberg, Rachel Goldman, Edward Goldman, Ronnie Greenberg, Albert Green, Joanne Hertz, Carl Hoffman, Monica Horwitz, William Jackson, Martin Javits, Claire Kahn, Morris Cross, Alfred Kurtzer, David Lasco, Evelyn Lazar, Kenneth Howard Lever, Joseph Levy, Anna Lichtman, Louis Lobo, Francis Madnick, Anna Mann, Ruth Martin, Lauren Melnick, Robert Mickelson, Harry Miller, Sarah Miller, Ralph Monkarsh, Ann Pomerantz, Evalentina Posner, Jacob Rosenbaum, Sally Rosenstein, Arthur Rosenthal, Zvika Saham, Alex Schwartz, Ezra Cohen Sitt, Rose Skolnick, William Sussman, Seymour Jack Varnon, Murray Vogel, Dave Warner, Sandy Klein Wine, Rhonda Lori Yellen, Sam Yellen, Mary Zolans, and Leon Zubau. For anyone who is in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, invite you to rise and join with me in the words of Mourner's Kaddish. I've spotlighted my own video so that if you unmute yourself on Zoom, you will be heard but not seen. We are on page 58 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yahei shmei rabbah v'yirach la'omei almaya. Yitbarach v'yitabach v'yita'ar v'yitamach v'yitaseh. Yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchacha v'shirata tushbechacha v'nehemacha da'amiran de'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. If you've unmuted yourself, we'll have you mute yourself again because we have some announcements for you. We want to welcome everyone who's joined us this evening here on Zoom and in our live stream. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we will gather online for Shabbat services. This is very important. We are not meeting in the sanctuary. You can go to aliyahlive.org to find the live stream link. We will not be letting people into the Zoom room until the end of the service, either for saying Kaddish or immediately afterwards for our virtual Kiddush luncheon. We are the return of the virtual Kiddush luncheon. And Chazan Stein is going to be back from sabbatical tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're very excited. He's going to be back. He's going to share about his incredible experience in Poland. He'll be sharing during the service itself, and then he'll be available to answer questions and share even more during the virtual Kiddush luncheon. So we hope you take us up on that opportunity to learn from him. Next Friday night, please join us for a New Year's Eve Zoom Minyan at 7 p.m. And then next Saturday morning, we'll gather for our regular Shabbat services starting at 10 a.m. And keep checking information regarding how you can join us for that 10 a.m. service. A new round of Baby and Me classes are now forming and begin in January. There are a wide variety of options, including grandparent and me classes. Please visit templealiyah.org/babyandme for details and to register. There are always opportunities to be a part of Temple Aliyah, from our Shabbat services to weekly study with each of our rabbis and the many social action and outreach activities through Community of Caring. If you'd like to join us in making meaning and a difference, visit our website for more information, as always, at templealiyah.org. Thank you for being a part of Aliyah's story, and thank you for making Aliyah a part of yours. We're going to conclude our service with Adon Olam, page 211.
I just want to make one clarification before I start Adon Olam, and it's if you are reading Torah, please come into the Zoom room when you're supposed to read Torah, or if you're leading the prayer for our country. Other than that, we'll see you at the end of the service on the live stream. So I'm going to invite you to do a little Shabbat dancing for our closing song. Adon Olam asher malach terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nafsav efef sokol azay melech ויחרק ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה ותפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בדם בם בם בם, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להסבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא הוד והמזרע. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בדם בם בם בם, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, בצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בדם בם בם בם, בידו אף כתבוכי, ועת אישן ועירה, ועם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בדם בם בם בם, אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בדם בם